Unang punto ay doon sa mga hindi nakakaalam, may dalawang bahagi po ang naganap o tatlong bahagi ang naganap sa umagang ito. Ang una ay ang takbo mula Dasmariñas, Cavite hanggang Krame hanggang dito. Umigit kumulang 44 na kilometro. Marami po kaming inaasahan na sasama dahil noong pinaplano ang Walk with the Widows, Run for the Heroes, ay wala po kaming narinig na anumang pagtutol sa bahagi ng pamahalaan. Subalit, kahapon biglang nagkaroon ng development. Meron pong lumabas na statement na sinasabihan, huwag na kayong sumama dyan dahil hindi maganda para sa PNP kapag kayo ay sumama. Ang inaasahan namin na kumigit kumulang 1,000 sasama mula kadete at mga PNP na nasa active service ay biglang nabawasan ng halos 95%. Instead of 1,000 runners from Dasmariñas to Krame, there were only 10 of us, 9 from the BJMP, and I think 2 or 3 policemen on bikes, so that makes more or less 13. It's quite a departure from the original plan of 1,000 runners. So what would I want to say about this first point? There is nothing wrong about grieving, and definitely there is nothing wrong about sharing the grief of those who are deeply hurt, and that's what we wanted to do. No more, no less. No political statement about resign or oust, nothing. It was feeling with the widows and the families of the 44 who perished, feeling with them, being with them during this moment of grief. Whoever issued the warning that you better not join or else, I ask the simple question, what is wrong about grieving? What is wrong about sharing the grief of others? Please ask yourself, what is wrong? Perhaps not with us, but with you. Second point, today, as we celebrate the 44th day after Mamapasano, we also ought to remember that sometime in March 2000, a priest of the Claretian Order, Father Roel Gallardo, was waked here. He was killed by the Abu Sayyaf. 15 years later, we still have a problem. It concerns Mindanao. And we are so divided that some are beginning to shout the simplistic, all too simplistic solution that war is the way to peace. I am now a Franciscan, and we are committed to say, even at the cost of our own lives, that peace is the only way to peace. Father Roel is a martyr for peace. The 44, even if they fought with arms, the fact that their blood was shed in Mindanao, their blood cries to high heavens, telling all, war is absurd. Nobody wins in war. Stop the arguments, the debates about war. You who insist on war, read your history. There are no winners in war. Third point. The gospel talks about the Jesus who became very angry when he went to the temple. And upon visiting the temple, instead of seeing people praying, he saw money changers. He saw people selling animals for sacrifice. And he was so upset, more than upset, he was angry. He took a rope, tied knots in the rope, and started whipping people away. He was angry. He was angry. He was angry. An angry Jesus. Because there was something to be angry about. I am angry at the waste of 44 lives. The PNP is angry at the ways of young, promising policemen. There is nothing wrong with anger, and it must be expressed. Today, we were not expressing anger. We were expressing something equally human, the feeling of grief. There is nothing wrong with anger, nor is there anything wrong with grief. Both are human sentiments which must be expressed, for if not expressed, it will continue to boil. It will continue to rumble within until it turns into something unpleasant. Why were we not allowed? Why were the PNP not allowed to express their grief? Bakit pinagbabawal ang pagtangis at pagdadalamhati? Kapag pinagbawal mo ang pagtangis at pagdadalamhati, ang susunod na mararamdaman ng pinagbawalan mo ay galit, at galit na may batayan. I am not telling anyone to vent your anger unreasonably, but I should tell you, you should not bottle up your anger because it will crack you. You should not bottle up your grief because it will turn you sour. A person who is complete expresses what must be expressed because it exists. If I am angry, I am angry. Express it well. Are you angry? Are you angry? Are you angry? Are you pained and saddened by the loss of your loved ones? Are you? Then express it. A parent who loses a child weeps at the loss of the child. A wife who loses a husband weeps at the loss of her husband. A young child who loses her father weeps at the loss of her father. Why are we not allowed to weep? I don't know why we are not allowed to weep. I don't know why we are not allowed to be angry when there is reason to do so. Finally, my dear friends, 40 days, 44 days reminds us of Jesus going to the desert. And in the desert, He gave us a template of how to become a people of God, a godly people. 4 words: temptation, slavery, departure, and finally, liberation. In the desert, He was tempted. The devil tells Him, "Worship me, and you will become like God. Hurl yourself from the precipice, and your angels will catch you, and you will be famous. Look at the city below. I will give that to you, and you will become rich." The temptations were natural, usual, quite normal for you and me. But Jesus resisted each one. No to wealth, no to power, no to fame, because I will become a slave. And if I am a slave, I will worship the devil. And yet, even if you and I do fall, we can leave our false gods behind and say, "Get behind me, Satan. Depart from me, evil one." I ask people in government, are you tempted? And do you resist temptation? Or do you quite conveniently say yes to wealth, yes to more power, yes to popularity? This morning, as I struggled with my painful legs and feet because I was not adequately prepared to do a 44-kilometer run and walk, one of my walking and running companions tells me, "Father, the issue of PDAP and DAP was all about good money wasted. But that is just money. The issue of SAP 44 are wasted lives. And that we cannot say that is only life. Money you can recover. Lives are lost forever." A healthy democracy, a healthy Christianity allows people to be themselves. My dear people of God, mahal kong mga kababayan, huwag tayong matakot maging tunay na tao. Tumangis kung kailangan, magalit kung kailangan. Huwag tayong matakot na ialay ang buhay natin katulad ng SAP 44. Amen. Ang ngalan ng Ama at ng Anak ng Espiritu.